Hey guys, it's still Wednesday morning. I'm not sure what happened a few minutes ago, if you saw that or if that even came up or not, but welcome to another episode of Come On Ref. Looks like I've got Natalie, I've got something with a lot of hair in the back corner, and I've got Jared. Oh, that's Max. I didn't recognize Max. That's Max. I'm sorry, Max. And hi, Jared. How are you? What's going on today, guys? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. How are you?
I am doing well. Max, I'm just kidding, man. I was in your boat last Friday. Like, I could not get a haircut for like 3 or 4 extra weeks, man. It was like...
See, I had to... So, I'm going out of town this weekend, but, like,
This was all
I had to cancel it, like, 3 times because I kept doing the wrong date. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Just select the correct date.
Sometimes sometimes you just can't go do it. Like, it happens. Like, stuff happens. Stuff gets in your way, man. It's
right.
Wear a hat. Who cares?
Right.
That's funny. That's fine. What do you guys think, man? Anything going on this week in sports? Like in the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 days or so? Anything big?
Something like that. Something really big. I think it's the greatest sporting event in the world.
Yeah, there's like a
European,
isn't there? We'll get to it later. I'm sure we'll get to whatever that is later. But yeah, I mean, today obviously we're going to preview the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about that Chiefs and 49ers. Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, man. I can't imagine like in some ways it kind of feels like, is there a better home for the Super Bowl, or in the other, is there a worse home for the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? Like a lot of good and bad there. Like obviously it's like the sports betting capital of the world, but then like it's also like, they call it Sin City for a reason. Like, are guys going to get lost there and like not show up for the game? Who knows?
Right.
I know a couple of media guys, like national media guys, have made that claim. Like maybe it's not such a good idea to have the Super Bowl in Las Vegas.
Joe Buck said that.
Yeah, I mean Joe Buck's been there. Baseball games, he knows.
What happens in Vegas should stay in Vegas, but it's not gonna stay in Vegas.
No, the whole world's gonna have their eyes and ears tuned to Vegas this weekend, man. So there's not gonna be much that's gonna stay in Vegas if it happens there. But we'll see. I don't know. Want to get to headlines, or you guys have any fun stories from the last week or so? Anything you guys want to share anything or no?
No.
Right. Well, it's important to remember that we can only go one at a time. But anyway, we'll move on. Let's just get into it. Let's get into the headlines real quick. But the NHL All-Star game happened over the last few days ago, right?
Happened Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Over the weekend, yeah. Team Matthews beats Team McDavid 7-4. Anything notable from the NHL All-Star weekend? I mean, I know there's like a skills competition, so I didn't catch up.
The skills competition for the first time in its history was for money.
Yeah.
It was between 12 players. The winner got $1 million.
Really? Okay.
And Connor McDavid won that whole thing. Shocking,
right?
I mean, he destroyed.
He flew around the ice.
He destroyed everybody in the
speed challenge.
The pass in the fastest skater, accuracy shooting, the obstacle course. He just destroyed everybody in his path. $1 million. And the thing was, the NHL went to him for ideas on how to improve the All-Star skills game. And they went to him. And he played to his strong suits. And he absolutely won. And he also won the puck handling. I was like...
Well, it's also kind of McDavid, so...
Yeah, you can't blame the guy for heading toward his strong suits, though, right? I mean, hey.
Right, Austin Matthews was in it. Nathan McKinnon, David Pastrnak, all those guys. And then the All-Star game still in the 3-on-3 format. I honestly think they should change it because it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
The players don't really they brought back the NHL All-Star draft where the 4 teams from each, obviously Team Matthews, Team McDavid, they drafted the players for their team, but
yeah.
I don't like the 3-on-3. I think they should go back to keep the draft and go back to 5-on-5 because you got somebody who's on the Western Conference team, whoever back in 2015 is the last 5-on-5 year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or 2016.
Okay.
But that was the last draft too. So the Blackhawks were captains and the Blue Jackets were captains. A LA Kings player was on the Jackets and Philadelphia Flyers was on the Columbus. So it was East versus West kind of.
I hate that too. I'm not a big fan.
And I honestly would like to see them go back to the East versus West or USA versus the world.
I think USA versus the world would be more interesting.
Or North America versus the world, not USA.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're lumping Canada in with that too, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the NHL is kind of it's a weird sport for me. It's cool. I don't know. You talked about McDavid just scooting around the ice. Can you guys ice skate at all? Can any of you guys ice skate at all?
No.
Like-
you guys can ice skate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can skate really
I can
well.
ice skate, rollerblade, and roller skate.
I can't skate to save my life.
Man, Max and Natalie, I'm impressed, man. Yeah, I like my brother-in-law is a really good ice skater, right? So I told you we went ice skating New Year's Day, and like watching him like cruise around the ice, it made me want to learn to skate, man. Like I'm like, I want to. That looks like fun, man. Like
It is.
I don't
looks
feel like
effortless,
falling
you know
on
what
my butt, nor is it going to be a skill set I need in life.
yeah, I would have to pad up, man. I was out there. I got on the ice and I got like a foot away from the little gate, and I was nervous, man. I was like, nope, we're going back in. Sorry, like
Give me the
no
cone.
business out here.
Yeah, cone. Chad, you need a cone.
I need. Well, listen, they tried. They gave me like the little walker thing. That didn't help. I'm like, I had something to lean on, and
Yeah,
that
it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
No, I didn't fall, but I didn't go anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere, man. So
For
whatever.
me, I started with the cone, and then like whenever I skated the full time. And as time went on, I'd start pushing the cone ahead and skating to it.
That's cool.
And
man.
then I
I
ditched the cone entirely.
I can imagine you, Max, being like a hockey ref in your prime.
Yeah,
Okay, that's boarding. 2 minutes.
Save the ice, man. I want to see that. That's awesome.
2 minutes for boarding in the box.
Tripping, kicking, fighting.
That's cool. Max and Natalie, man. I'm impressed with you guys today. Yeah, I'm impressed. That's cool. That's a cool skill. Jared, we'll learn, man. Maybe we'll learn one day. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, we need some lessons.
Like Blades of
Special
Glory.
come on ref episode from the rink.
That'll be hilarious, right? We'll see how many injuries I
We'll
sustain.
put Brian on the ice too.
I look down at my ankles like, are you okay? Just talking about it makes them hurt, honestly. Anyway, let's move on. So let's talk about some golf. The Wyndham Clark. Got to talk about Wyndham Clark. This is a weird thing at Pebble Beach. Shot a course record 60, okay, on Saturday to wrap up a win there. Rain delay on Sunday. I think Sunday night officials said, look, there's no clearing. You know, we're not going to have to push this thing out until Tuesday. We can't keep you guys here. We can't like sequester the entire field here. You know what I mean? So he was actually named the winner. How would you like to be the guy? Wasn't there a guy that was like one stroke back?
Yeah, he was 1 stroke back, and I mean it's unfortunate that they couldn't play the final round, but climate change, the weather is terrible
And
in
plus, it's on
California
the
right now.
coast,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
so they get hit with the most rain because all the clouds are moving inward and they're right there.
But he was about like 2 inches, 3 inches away from turning that 60 into a 59, and he just played remarkable in the 3rd round.
I mean, a course record at Pebble Beach is a big deal. Like that's
Right.
And Pebble Beach is a well-known golf course too.
Yeah.
So I mean, we talked about it earlier. The Farmers Insurance Open was a few weeks ago, and now we have the Pebble Beach one as well. So the PGA Tour is officially underway. It's sooner or later the Masters will be here.
yeah. That's his third win. That's his 3rd win, right? Wyndham Clark is his 3rd win.
I think it is.
That's not bad for what I understand. He's a hotel, no? The Wyndham? Is he a hotel?
Yes.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
it's
That's not bad. I mean, normally you get people in. That's pretty good.
No, but he played great. He played great. I'm happy. for
Yeah.
him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to take away. I'm making a joke, obviously, but yeah, the 60. I mean, the 60 to wrap that thing up, like that's
I can't even do that in 9 holes sometimes.
impressive.
Get alone 18.
I've hit like a 95.
I don't have a prayer to shoot a 60 in 5 holes. It's not happening. So that's whatever. Yeah. Not a golfer, not a skater. So we'll have, you know what we need to do? We need to have the Come On Ref skate golfing episode pretty soon.
I
Like,
do
just
need
combine
to-
sport that I cannot do.
Skate putt putt. Skate putt putt.
Yeah, replace your divots in the ice, right? Like that'll be a fun
We
thing.
can do live from the rink.
Live.
Live
Come
as
on,
we
Ref
kick out of the
skating.
ring. That's whatever.
I don't think it's gonna be cold
9 iron.
enough anymore though, unless you go inside.
Might need the 9 iron to actually help pick me up off the ice. Like that's how you're gonna pull me up. Anyway, what are we talking about? Listen, college basketball. There were a bunch of top 10 matchups over the past week or so. I mean, like legitimate, like both teams in the top 10 matchups, right? Purdue took down Wisconsin 75-69. I'm not sure what days all these happened. It was tough to, I don't know. I didn't get all the days that these happened, but Kansas beat Houston 78-65. I think that's the most anyone scored against Houston this year, isn't it?
Yeah. They Houston's been playing really well this year.
Yeah. Their defense has been really tough. And then UNC Duke, which is always, I think that's always a fun game to watch. North Carolina took down Duke 93-84. So a lot of exciting stuff. I mean, I always talk about this being a bad time of the year in sports, like once the Super Bowl is over. But, I mean, there's actually some excitement this year in college basketball.
The Big Ten
unfortunately, the Buckeyes aren't in on that, but that's okay.
Right.
The
Big
18-point lead last night.
It's Indiana. But
Ah.
anyways, the Big Ten Conference should be interesting because Wisconsin and Illinois are in the mix right now with Purdue. And Wisconsin put up a pretty good fight against Purdue. I mean, we all know Purdue's history. They do good in the regular season, and they choke in the postseason. So they could do it early here and choke in the Big Ten Conference. Who knows?
Could. Yeah, they could.
Like,
I know it well.
You can't keep it. You can't go off guard. You know, you got to make sure you're always focused and ready to go. Don't take your opponent for granted. As for Kansas and Houston, great win for Kansas. You know, they're one of those teams that have been ranked high and have lost early in the season.
Yeah.
And Houston's been playing good basketball. They just didn't play a good game this past week.
Yeah. Yeah, their defense has been lights out. I mean,
yeah,
really lights out. In an era where we don't see a lot of, just teams shutting people down defensively like that. It's kind of cool.
And UNC and Duke, a great rivalry game as well.
But UNC did lose last night to Clemson.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think
sometimes I think it's hard to stay up emotionally after a game like that. It's like you're always going to have a little bit of a letdown, especially in basketball when you can. You can allow that to happen. I mean, you can lose 5 or 6 games and be fine in college basketball. So
I honestly think UNC is going to make a bigger run than Duke this year.
Yeah.
With the talent they have.
Yeah.
I mean,
UNC's always been poised for big runs. But
so is Duke.
Yeah, but when UNC gets to the Final Four or the Elite Eight or the final, that's when they choke it away.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say that they choke. When you get that far into a tournament or a playoff or whatever, I mean, you're playing some really good teams, man. Like, I don't know. I have a tough time using the word choke there. I don't know, maybe.
You can't forget, though, the great 2016 final in Villanova.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was fantastic.
That was a heartbreaker for them. But then they also lost to Kansas in the final.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you get to the final a lot and lose,
Are they the LeBron James of college basketball? They always make it to the finals to lose.
Oh, never know.
So let's hope the season isn't a flop. Hey, I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on to Major League Baseball. There's some stuff. Some old friends. Going places. Listen, Carlos Carrasco, man, Cookie's coming back. He's signed a minor league contract with the Guardians. That's fun, right? It's fun to have a guy like Cookie back. He's a great dude, man. I don't know exactly what his role is going to be. Does anybody know? I mean, do you know what his role is going to be? Or?
He could be our 5th guy in the starting rotation.
Yeah. That's not. They're going to have. No, I don't. He might be. He'll be that rotational guy, the injury guy.
He'll either be the 5th guy in the rotation or he'll be that long-term guy in the bullpen.
Yeah, like a spot starter when you need him, but if you need him to come out in the 4th inning or something and throw like 4 innings of relief, he could do that too.
I mean, as of right now, we have Bieber, McKenzie, Bybee, and then
Williams and.
Well, I don't think Williams is going to stay. I honestly don't think he's that great.
Williams is great.
Man, it's too bad Boobie Gibson can't throw a curveball, because then you could have on that. Maybe you could get him playing baseball, and on that staff you could have Bybee, Bieber, and Boobie. You know what I mean?
Logan Allen. Logan
Allen will probably be the 4th starter, but
his name's not fun. I'm sorry, Logan, but your name's not fun.
But I think
I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like we don't have a definite 4th and 5th starter right now.
Gavin Williams is a starter. There's no
to
doubt.
Start the season.
Yes.
Probably, but
and I think that's okay if you're the Dodgers and you have immense, I don't know, assets and things that you can. But yeah, it's not okay if you're the Guardians and you're already like kind of you're financially strapped and you don't have a 4th and a 5th starter, even in the worst division in baseball. I think that's a little terrifying going in, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like at least they have that option for a 4th and a 5th starter.
Yeah,
with a lot of guys going to be competing for that job. If one of them can't solidify themselves as a starter, they can at least go to the bullpen.
I'm not watching Hunter Gaddis throw pitches.
Hunter Gaddis is gone, I think.
Well, if he was still here, I'm not watching.
Yeah.
Wherever he is, Max is not going to sign up.
You have your top 3 pitching prospects in the majors right now.
But
Williams, Bybee, and Allen.
I think it's great. I think it's great that the Guardians have Carrasco back. I mean, he was great with us before he left, and maybe this is the thing he needs to reamp his career, because obviously the Mets was not it.
No, I mean, I think you could say that for a lot of guys. The Mets.
He was traded in the
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess Lindor is doing decent with the Mets, but other than that, I know. Yeah, like Chad said, no one really does go with the Mets. We saw that with Verlander and Scherzer.
For some reason, it's like a free agency black hole. I don't get it. I mean, it's a good destination. They got a lot of money. I mean, Steve Cohen, they spend a lot of money on that team, but they just haven't like bothered to look into like chemistry at all. They just you sign a bunch of names and it doesn't always work, right?
Like it's like a lot of teams. They go for the big guys.
Yeah.
Then when it comes down to it, they don't play.
Yeah. Well, how about the Orioles going for the big guy, man? Corbin Burns. I mean, that was a huge trade. What was that? I can't believe the Brewers did. Why did the Brewers do that?
I actually was kind of interested about that too. But I think it's a great pickup for the Orioles because they definitely need starting pitching, especially I think Batista's going to be out for the start of the year.
He's out this whole year.
Is he? Yeah.
I think he got Tommy John.
Yeah.
For the start and the beginning. Yeah.
You're going to lose Batista. So even though he's a relief pitcher, like you still need that significant starter that can help you get through and guarantee you 7 innings, 8 innings, so your bullpen doesn't have to work that much.
Well, I don't even know who the Brewers who the Orioles gave the Brewers.
I don't even remember.
But it's like we knew everybody in Major League Baseball knew Corbin Burns was going to get dealt either at the deadline or to start the season.
But you thought the Brewers would get more out of him. I just felt like it's like they were missing a piece in that trade. Like there was no player to be named later or anything. It just feels like they were missing something there. Like they didn't get it. Right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
They completely faltered in that trade because, like you said, they didn't get anything in return.
Yeah. I mean, it just felt like they're giving up. I mean, the season hasn't started. Like hope springs eternal, right? It's literally February. I mean, are they out of it already? Are they consider themselves like mathematically eliminated already? I mean, I don't get it.
I don't know.
It's like they were it's like they were forced to trade. It's like I think the Orioles turned off fair trades when they sold the team. The new owner just turned off fair trades and came in and
I guess so. Yeah.
I guess Aaron Judge to Baltimore next for a low-level prospect. We'll keep an eye on it. Hey man, Carlos Santana. Did you see Carlos Santana sign with the Twins too? Remember Carlos Santana?
Yeah, he's back in the division.
Yeah, excellent guitarist. Really good first baseman. Good DH. He played the guitar, right? He was in Santana. Anyway. Anyway, 1 year, $5.25 million with the Twins, back in the division. I guess that hurts because he's always on base, right? Like he's gonna be on base 500 times this year. It seems like,
I mean, I'm just giving him credit because he's been in the league for a long time.
He's a minute man.
And the fact whether you've won a World Series or not, I think it's just amazing that he's been able to be in the league this long, to stay healthy for this long, making money and playing the sport that he loves for this long, because that's hard to do for some people, especially after you were with the team for so long and now you've been bouncing back and forth with all these other teams.
Yeah, it's hard to stay engaged. Yeah,
like it shows that you still have a chance. You still have a shot.
I bet Natalie remembers the day. I remember the days he was a catcher. Back in the day, when he first started as a catcher, he was the one I looked up to him, and then when he went to first base, I'm like, oh, who's this guy? But he's been around me. He's been around the division. He was in the he was
with Kansas City.
After he left with the second time from us, he went to Kansas City. Then he ended up he
was in
Philadelphia,
and then Pittsburgh.
Then Pittsburgh. Then he got traded to Milwaukee. And remember,
he's a Central Division lifer, pretty much. I mean, not in Philly for a minute.
Last season, he hit a walk-off home run against Milwaukee, and then a month and a half later, he got traded to Milwaukee.
Do you think he apologized when he got there? Like, hey, sorry, guys. My bad.
He might not have.
No, I actually went to a game years ago when he was still in Cleveland. I don't remember if there was a grand slam or just a walk-off, but he hit a walk-off home run. And that's like my greatest memory I have of him, besides him celebrating us winning the ALCS back in 2016. That was a pretty great memory, too.
That's pretty cool, man. I remember I was in the parking garage one year when Casey Blake hit a walk-off home, and I had never seen a Major League walk-off home run. And it was late. We had to work.
Casey Blake.
My wife and I were like, well, whatever, we're going to take off. And we're in the parking garage. We hear all the fireworks. I'm like, man, really?
Casey Blake, that's like 08, 09, isn't it?
That's going way back. Yeah. You guys weren't alive back then, were you?
In fact, I've never seen a Major League walk-off at all. Walk-off anything.
I got lucky. I walked out on that one, and then a couple years later on my birthday, the day before my birthday, I was in Atlanta, and I saw Troy Gloss walk it off. That was pretty cool, man. I got to see the Braves walk off. Yeah, that was fun to see my team do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was cool. Anyway, let's move on. I want to talk about the Cavs. Let's move to the NBA for a little bit, because the Cavs are red hot. Like,
Cavs are on tear.
They're literally like storming back, right? Like I said, they were done a few weeks ago. Remember?
The last time when we talked about them the first time, we were like, "Is this it for the Cavs?" Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they won 14 out of their last 15 since we talked about them.
They started playing defense. Listen, maybe they listened to me. I started talking about like reconstructing the roster and trying to like think about the future and like that.
Get rid of Donovan Mitchell.
They've won 6 straight now, and I said it last week. Out of their 6 games, they should win at least 5 of them, because they were facing
Who
Low.
faced
They were
tonight?
facing teams under 500. They're facing the Wizards. They're going to win again tonight. And
Where?
what's great here is that they're 5 games back of the Celtics. They're now second in the East. They went from 5th to 2nd now.
No, they went from like 8th to
Eighth,
2nd.
yeah.
Well, since we started talking about them, at least.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that, like, if you would have told me by the beginning of February that the Cavs are second in the East and the 76ers are 5th, I would have said you were crazy.
And Joel Embiid can't be in the MVP race anymore because he's gonna be out.
Well, this is
for 4
going
more
to
weeks.
affect the 76ers seeding too because of
Yeah,
Embiid's
that's
going to be out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and plus they don't.
Yeah.
But like I remember the last time the Cavs were in this situation in what was it, 2020 season.
Yeah.
They were like what, like 4 or 5 games back of the Heat, or like 2 games back of the Heat.
Yeah.
And then the thing that caught the Cleveland Browns this season came to them.
Well, that's a good thing now that they're in second
That's a good
place
point.
and they have all their stars back now. They have Garland and Mobley back, and now with Mitchell as well.
And plus
That-
the bench is playing very well.
That's a triple
Yeah.
threat. That's a triple
Maybe
threat.
they were able to get the injuries out of the way early and shake them off this year, man. That's not a Taylor Swift joke. We'll get to those later, but yeah, I mean, maybe they were able to actually get that out of the way right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Right.
this is the best basketball we've seen from the Cavs since LeBron came back.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
Denver says the Cavs are a good team they are. I mean, they started playing defense too. I mean, I think that's what it is. It's like once they bought in on actually like playing that clamp down defense, like they got really, really good.
Like they used
Yeah.
to. They played clamp down D all year last year. Like
Yeah.
I mean, what, your
And they're-
brother goes to the games a lot.
A lot. I try to too, and because I mean most of the time they like what $11 a ticket. So like,
Yeah.
come on, let's go.
And they're not. Their schedule is not that tough.
They're gonna be more expensive now too. And yeah, like you said, no.
Yeah,
They have
tough.
they have the Wizards tonight. Then tomorrow they have the Nets, and then Saturday they have the Raptors. Their next big game is the 76ers next Monday. But what makes
And then
that good
Heat
for
out.
us
That's
that
not-
that's
yeah.
home.
With no Embiid.
The
That's
76ers look completely different now. I mean, that's
Well, we could be
Yeah.
seeing ourselves at another 9-game win streak, maybe even 10. So like we keep saying, they're getting hot at the right time.
Don't we
And now
face
that-
Boston again?
That's ways away. But anyways, they're building momentum off the right time, the right time of the season.
yeah. And listen, I got to admit, I really wish they would have lost to the Pistons. I was rooting for the Pistons that night. I wanted to see
Oh yeah, I watched
yeah.
that game.
Could you imagine Max
Yeah.
on the show today with the long hair and tattoos, like Pistons, all like bad boys all up and down his arms? Like, come on.
Yeah, bad boys, bad boys.
Oh man.
I'm so disappointed, man. Whatever.
No,
Yeah,
but
we
they're-
talked about Embiid, and that's unfortunate, man. The meniscus tear.
Yeah.
I assume it was a tear. I saw he's having the surgery on the
He's out for a
lateral
month.
meniscus, right?
I think so.
Something like that, yeah.
I was gonna get blue guy out, but I decided not to. I've actually had surgery on my medial meniscus. Well, I've had that 3 times on twice on my right knee, once on my left knee. It's not the toughest surgery to come back from, but the problem Embiid has is he's tall and he's playing on a really hard floor. Like that's gonna be tough. That comeback's gonna be a little rough for him, man. I'm not saying he's not gonna be the same player, but that explosiveness isn't gonna be there for a little bit.
I mean, like you said, Chad, you've had knee surgeries, and so have I.
Yeah.
And I look at it. I had ACL surgeries, so meniscus is like, oh, it's nothing, even though it's still a lot. And I say nothing because you're not out as long with a meniscus tear as you are with
Serious,
ACL.
man. ACL's a big one, yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, it is gonna be hard for him to pivot, push off, and land from a jump, or
Yeah.
like going up for a rebound, something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
And like we said earlier, this injury really affects the 76ers in a bad way, and they have to learn how to play without him and still win games and manage the place they're in right now in the Eastern Conference until they get Embiid back.
They'll have to find a process and trust it, right? I mean, yeah, Embiid, he was having a better season than last year, than his first MVP season. So, I mean, yeah, it's a huge blow, man.
And I mean, it sucks that he won't be able to be in the conversation for the MVP now. But let's be honest, Embiid is still young. He'll have chances again in the future.
Well, we said the same thing about Greg Oden, and then you had the microfracture surgeries, and we were like, oh, he's young, he'll come, and he never came back, and it's scary, man. I know that's not the same thing, but it's still scary. Knees and backs are scary for tall guys, man. It's a scary
And
thing.
who play in the NBA?
Whether it's a minor one or a big one, it is hard to come back from injuries. So hopefully this doesn't affect Embiid too much.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to ask you guys a question. So now he's out, right? Can't really compete for the MVP. He's going to miss too many games. Let's say he would have played 64 games this year, right? And averaged, 35 points a game, 18, whatever. He's clearly the MVP, but one game would have held him out of that, right? One game, if he would have missed 64. right? Or not missed 64. If it played 64, that would have held him out. So let me just ask you, how is Doc Rivers the head coach of the All-Star team?
I have no idea.
I
That's a
don't
great
know, but
question.
That's a great question.
Like he doesn't even want to do it. He wants to go on vacation.
Yeah.
He's literally giving Adrian Griffin the All-Star ring that Griffin was going to earn, and he's giving him the All-Star bonus that he would have earned.
I mean, is he going to have him on the phone calling? Like, what do we do? Like, how can you do that?
I mean,
They're 1-4
let's
since
be
he was
honest.
hired.
Let's be honest. Doc Rivers is coached long enough. He doesn't need to coach an All-Star game, and the All-Star game is a joke as it is.
Yeah.
It's basically just shoot
It's like
around.
196 to
around.
184 or whatever. Like it. Yeah. I mean,
It's a joke. It's a joke. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like people are going to watch the skills competition more than the actual game.
You're gonna watch
did you see they
Sabrina.
announced? Did you see they
You're gonna watch
announced?
Sabrina versus Steph.
I'm sorry, Max. I didn't mean to cut you off. But did you see they announced the dunk contest guys?
No, I didn't see it.
No.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not trying to take
Who is
anything.
it?
It's like Mac
Yeah.
McClung, Jalen Brown,
Oh, I like that.
me for all it matters. I don't know. Like, just remember what, like, well, you don't remember because you're not 80 years old like I am. But when I was a kid, man, it was like Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, like, I mean, superstars were in this thing, man.
Aaron Gordon,
Well,
Zach LaVine. Remember those years?
Jalen
Yeah.
Brown's kind of a star.
He is.
I wouldn't
He
say
is.
he's a superstar, but he's a star.
But he's
Jalen
that's
Brown said he thought he was going to
a
win.
guy that doesn't even play in the
45
NBA in this thing. That never happened when I was a kid.
Oh, no.
Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
man.
It's just not the same as it was, like you said, 20 years ago, Chad. Because
No, I'm gonna go out and yell to Cloud in a minute. I'm very mad.
yeah,
about it.
like
I mean,
at
Donovan
the end,
Mitchell's in the 3-point contest.
but at the end of the day, superstars don't want to be in this because they want to save their body for the rest of the season and the postseason. And it's like, what's the point? What do I get out of it? You
I
know,
get it. And what if you got hurt? What if you
They
broke
don't
your
want-
wrist or something?
they don't want to entertain the fans, which I guess it is what it is. But at the end of the day, they want to save their body. They don't want to get any injuries because of how much medicine and like, the human body has changed over the last 20 years of sports.
Imagine if Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon were still going at it till this day in the dunk
I don't think you're going to be able to beat that dunk contest, to be honest.
Those two,
Yeah,
Carter, I mean,
there were 2 years in the dunk
Carter's
contest.
dunks?
They
Oh
were
my
back-to-back
I
years.
used
They
to like
did.
Vince Carter.
Man, Sean Kemp was electrifying. Like,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
Didn't
yeah.
Mac McClung win it last year?
Yeah, he did. I like
Yeah.
So I think that's why he's back, because he won it
sure.
last year.
Yeah, he's bad. Yeah, that's why. But
And he's only in the G
he's playing
League.
NBA. I don't know.
In the G League?
Mac McClung is a G League player for the Orlando Magic's G League team.
I would literally rather watch all the and one guys go at it in a dunk contest.
You-
Like, remember the and one mixtape? Like,
Yes,
remember those things?
yes. Oh, you stop, because you're showing our age now.
Yeah, I should probably be careful.
No, but
Oh, yeah,
Mac
those are good,
McClung,
though.
last year when he won it, he was on the 76ers G League team.
I always
But
wanted
he
that
was-
job. Remember the guy in the and one? I was like, I always wanted that job, man. I always thought I could do that
I
because I couldn't
know.
dunk like that. So
Oh man.
When I found out what slam ball was, I'm like, where is this
Oh,
and where
slam
can I
ball.
watch it?
Yeah.
But then I found out it didn't exist, and they brought it back last year.
You guys remember NBA Jam, right?
Of
Yeah,
course.
sure does remember NBA Jam.
Of course.
I play that in the iPod all the time.
man,
You still
I
play it?
played that in the arcade,
I
bro.
used to.
That was my game
And
back
the
in the day.
Atari. Look.
I had to put actual quarters in, and like play on the sticks. And,
Yeah.
you got it on your iPad.
Oh
Jared's
my
just like
God.
playing it with his thoughts, like on the wall. You know what I mean? We're at that point in the future. Awesome. I woke up old. That's
He's
fun.
playing it on the Apple Vision.
Right,
Apple
whatever.
Vision Pro.
Hey, one more NBA question for you guys. NBA Rookie of the Year. Is it Chet or is it Victor Wembanyama? Who is it? Chet Holmgren or Victor Wembanyama?
Ooh.
I think
It's
I
too
think
early.
I think it's Wembanyama. I can
What
say
did you
it.
just say?
I can't say
He
it.
said, you heard him.
Wembanyama.
You heard him.
Wembanyama. I think it's Wembanyama right now,
There you go.
Yeah.
just because of his reputation and coverage from the media. But his stats are off the chart. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Chet Holmgren. I don't think Holmgren can do much to catch him. I mean, they're both playing really, really well. I think they're both. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say Wembanyama is exceeding expectations, but I feel like he is. Like he's looked
He's
really good.
amazing.
Man.
Really.
Listen, he's got an outside shot at Defensive Player of the Year too.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think it's Chet. Because everybody wants to favorite. Because I remember back in 2022 when they announced it, and Evan Mobley was the heavy favorite because of what he was doing defensively and offensively for the Cavs, especially defensively because he led the Cavs in blocks, he led them in rebounds.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, who won? It was on the who on the Raptors won it?
Well, his problem was he was in a media black hole in Cleveland. I mean, there was no
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. At least the Spurs have. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's not like it's like the largest market by any means, but they're the Spurs. You know,
Victor Wembanyama is the biggest Spurs player since Kawhi Leonard,
literally and figuratively.
or Tim Duncan, or the Admiral Michael Anderson.
Yeah. Did you see him recreate the Space Jam dunk? Did anybody see that?
Oh
No.
yeah,
Wow.
Like during live play, that was pretty impressive.
he can. Yeah,
Like,
he can
like,
probably
they
jump.
looking up to him like that.
He can jump from the 3-point line and make a dunk, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, I think he actually played one of the spaceships in Space Jam, and he's gone.
Jesus.
That was stupid. That was sorry.
That's crazy.
That was worse than anything I've ever said. Anyway, I want to move on because like I said, there's a big something game this weekend. Somebody plays somebody in the something bowl. And
Is the ball round or is it a circle?
I don't remember. I have the notes here. Hold on. It looks like it's like an ovally thing.
Oh wait,
kind of a thing. Maybe it's a rugby game. That's
a
going on.
polyspherus.
Like
A polyspherus.
No, I think it's Super Bowl 58. I just remembered. It's Super Bowl 58. That's what's going on. The Taylor Swifts are playing the Joe Montanas, I think. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Somebody's playing
Sounds
somebody.
right.
That's
I have no idea. But they're I think they're both really good teams because they're like the last two left.
Something
So we
like
should probably
that.
spend like a half an hour talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. First of all, I think it's fun. Like I said, it's kind of cool to have the rematch from a few years ago, but it's also kind of boring in a way. How do you guys feel about that?
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I like it because the teams have changed over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey wasn't on the roster. Jimmy Garoppolo or Brock Purdy was still in college.
Yeah.
I mean, George Kittle was on the roster. He was a rookie. Nick Bosa was on the roster. Or no, it was Kittle's second year. Bosa was a rookie. Chase Young was still at Ohio State, absolutely tearing it up. So a lot has changed, and like the Chiefs don't have Tyreek Hill anymore.
No.
They don't have They don't have McCole Hardman when he was really good. They don't
Yeah,
have.
but
They
you're
didn't
right.
have.
That's about it in the receiving core. I mean, obviously they have Travis Kelce, but yeah, as far as wide receivers, they don't have much.
They didn't have.
You don't have LaShawn McCoy anymore. Gotta remember that.
They don't have. They don't have. They didn't have Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Isaiah Pacheco. Like
At
a
some
lot
point,
has
I thought
changed.
Andy Reid was going to suit up at some point this year.
I mean,
didn't know.
Max, you make a good point. But at the end of the day, I'm not excited for the Super Bowl at all. I could care less because, like you said, these like the 49ers won. As a Cowboys fan, they've beaten us twice out of the last 3 years. So they
I was going to say, you don't want to see this. You don't want to watch this. Like, I get it.
do.
man. I get
The
it.
49ers
Get over it.
49ers as a franchise have won enough Super Bowls already.
No, stop.
They don't need
All right,
any more
all right,
Super Bowls.
all right.
Let me finish
Just 'cause
talking.
you're a
You already
Cowboys
had to
fan.
say. Shut up.
Here we go.
Shut up. All right.
All right, it's Cowboy tears time.
Max, throw the key out. Shut up.
Somebody
All right.
get the Clippers and give Max a haircut.
As I was saying, the 49ers, they have won enough Super Bowls already. They do not need to win anymore. Okay?
They're 5-2. This could be their sixth win if they win. That could be their
and-
sixth Super Bowl win.
As for the Chiefs, again, Brock Purdy, or not Brock Purdy. As for the Chiefs with Mahomes is a crybaby. He wants everything given to him. And Kelce, he is a good player, but I don't like his cockiness. The only reason I like Kelce is because he's from Cleveland. Other than that, I don't like him as a football player.
All
That's the
right.
only
How
reason I
about his
don't like
brother?
him.
You don't like his brother either?
I prefer his brother because he's not cocky, yes.
Well, he's a
Well,
center.
he's an Eagle
He's
too.
a center.
Yeah, I know, but I prefer his brother because he's not cocky, and I think he's more funny than Travis.
Well, because his
Wait,
brother
what
has
makes
to
him
block
cocky,
the
though?
quarterback.
But what makes
You hear that, Travis? Travis Kelce, if you're watching, your brother's funnier.
I do like Jason. He is.
Well, I mean,
No, but at the end of the day,
he's putting his body on the line more than
this is-
anybody.
I said this last week. The Chiefs are basically replacing the Patriots from the 2010
That's what
year. because Mahomes has won and he's either made it to the Super Bowl or won it every time unless he's lost to Tom Brady.
He lost to Joe Burrow.
lost to
Yes,
Joe
and
Burrow.
the
21.
And the Burrow, but it's mainly been with Tom
22.
Brady. So in a sense, I feel like this Chiefs team is taking Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's place. And in the sense, I'm tired of seeing the same stuff all the time.
Me too. I ain't gonna
But
hold you.
in reality, though, I still want the 49ers to win because I hate the Chiefs more than the 49ers. And Nick Bosa and Chase Young are are on the team who are from Ohio State. So I'm going to root for them because they're from Ohio State.
That's
I
big of
hate
you.
them
Honestly,
less.
like some people can't do that, Jared. Like the Niners and Cowboys are kind of a thing, man. And sometimes it's hard. Like people looked at me crazy last year when the Phillies beat the Braves. I was like, all right, well now I'm rooting for the Phillies. And people are like, what do you mean? It's like, well, I mean, first of all, I want my team to lose to the eventual world champion, right? Like that's
Right.
okay. And
Hey,
second,
I dealt with that
I
with
like
the
the
Blue
feel that
Jackets
goes
for
back,
3
man.
straight years.
You know? I'm sorry.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to root for them because they have Ohio State players on their team.
Fair.
And I'm just so sick of the Chiefs. I really am. Like, and it's just like I'm tired of it. Like, give me a new story. Why am I watching the same episode over and over again?
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you said it. I've got something new. I've got a new story. Let's talk about the prop bets because this is my favorite part
Here
of
we
the
go.
Super
Here we
Bowl.
go.
We've got to put this graphic up, man, because this is like my favorite thing. It's like the Super Bowl prop bets, right? So here's the thing. If you're sick of the Chiefs, if you're sick of the whatever, I don't know, you're sick of everything. It sounds like Jared's sick of everything today. He's mad.
Jared's sick of being a Cowboys fan.
Just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. It's fine. Listen, here's one of my personal favorites, okay? The first prop bet, this gets a little outlandish, so I'm just going to start with crazy right away. For plus 20,000, you can place a bet on Sam Darnold, the backup quarterback, being
Yeah.
If you're not convinced that Brock Purdy's going to go get the job done, and maybe they'll put and Sam Darnold's even confused there, by the way. He's looking at that like, what? How?
When is he not confused is the question.
That's a great listen. When I looked up, I was like, let me please find a picture of Sam Darnold looking confused. And I put Sam Darnold, and that's all I found was Sam
Let's
Darnold
go.
completely lost. Like I was like, I'm like a kid in a candy store. Which picture do I even pick? Man, it was amazing. But if
I can't believe they even had that up there as a prop bet.
that's unbelievable. I mean, these are all real prop bets.
Wasn't he a number 1 pick
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was.
out of USC?
Yeah, I don't remember what number though.
And
He
he's
might have been like
a quarterback.
he was top 5.
I think he was like second or third to the Jets. I can't remember.
Yeah, because that was back in the day when everyone predicted their draft picks, and some people for the Browns wanted Arnold, and some people wanted Mayfield.
Yeah, some people wanted to take the D off his name, and but yeah, if that's not enough for you, listen, there's a bet that you can place that one of the kickers will either hit the crossbar or the uprights on a missed field
Wow.
goal or extra
Are
point.
you serious?
So you've got
On-
that.
on
What are these
on
odds,
each-
Jared? What site?
on each kick or just in general?
Just at some point during the Super Bowl that somebody will miss a field goal or an extra point and they'll hit the crossbar. or the upright.
What site is this on, Chad?
You can find them anywhere on any of the major betting sites. I don't want to push those because I'm not trying to promote sports betting and they don't give us money. But
Right.
you can look them up. You can definitely Google it and you can search Super Bowl prop bets. You can find all of this stuff out there. It's more than accessible. It's really easy to find.
That is
Okay.
crazy.
And don't worry, guys. Don't worry. If that's not enough for you, if that's not
No,
enough,
I see it already.
Oh shoot.
yeah,
Taylor
we've
Swift.
got prop bets for the Swifties. There's a whole group. I mean, I'm not kidding. There's a whole group of like 10 or 12 different prop bets, and they're named after Taylor Swift songs. If you don't believe me, look it up.
How many Taylor Swift songs are going to play at the Super Bowl?
Or references.
No.
References.
They named these prop bets after Taylor Swift songs and then modeled them after things in the Super Bowl. For instance, you can, I believe one is called Karma, and that's a bet that the Niners will actually, I think, one's, I don't remember. Look it up. I mean, look it up. They're all Super Bowl related. They're all Taylor Swift related. It's amazing. And then listen, possibly my favorite Super Bowl prop bet. You guys ready for it? We get to bet on whether or not Drake is going to rock some Chiefs gear.
Oh, he
Why is that minus 170?
Yeah, why
is he
is
a
that
Chiefs
so
fan?
low?
It's obvious that he's a front runner. He's obviously
He
going to
is.
wear. He's obviously going to rock the
No,
Chiefs gear.
the
That's
Drake curse.
He's
The
not
Drake
even a fan
curse.
for real.
the Drake curse.
He just likes people. He likes Mahomes, and
He wears
he's not
Chiefs
a
gear. The
fan.
49ers
so,
are winning.
so he
He
always
has a
roots
way
for
to
the
leak
team
out
that's
all
doing
over
good.
everything in
Yes.
sports. Man.
Oh, I didn't know. Unless it's the
Yeah.
Raptors.
Unless it's the Raptors.
Unless it's the Raptors. But hey,
He
that's it.
does.
Drake is Drake from Canada?
He is.
Yeah.
He
Toronto.
truly is Toronto.
I mean, I figured he was since he always roots for the Raptors, but I don't know. Maybe, I just thought he just liked them.
You guys don't remember.
For the Maple
Maybe
Leafs,
Natalie does. Maybe Natalie remembers. Do you guys remember Degrassi Junior High?
Of course, when he was in the
No.
wheelchair.
Yes.
Oh wait, I think I heard of that show.
Degrassi.
That is my
I
last thing. When I close my eyes and someone says
I
Drake,
couldn't
that's
believe
how I
when he
picture him.
became a rapper, he was that good. I was like, you talking about dude from the wheelchair like that?
Yeah.
From Degrassi and it.
I was
Sounds
like,
like a
oh,
name of
miracle.
like
Yeah.
a smoothie you get at Polk. I'll take a Degrassi, please.
Hey, so don't remember.
Don't
that
forget
song,
the
like,
grass.
Oh,
E.
that's so Raven and all that. Oh, I used to love.
Oh,
Right, that's
my
so
little sister
Raven.
loves that show.
That's so. Oh,
They made a
yeah.
new one.
The
At Home with Raven, I think. They made a new one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But she watches them both.
Oh,
I bet if you look into it, there's probably a wheatgrass
And
smoothie product for the
Victorious.
Super Bowl too, you guys. If you
Yeah.
look it up.
forget about that one.
All right.
Yeah, there's probably a wheatgrass.
But no, there's
Yeah.
you're talking about the props bet, Shad.
Yeah.
I mean, last year when me and my college buddies watched it, like they were betting on, oh, is the coin toss going to be heads or tails?
I can't
Is the
wait.
national anthem going to be under or over 2
Yeah.
minutes?
Reba
What kind of
McEntire's
touchdown
doing
dance
that.
they gonna do?
Reba McEntire's doing the national anthem. I'm going over too.
You going over? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Like it's
Post
like
Malone's
it's
America
like
the Beautiful.
I get it. Like
Yeah.
the Super Bowl is not that exciting if your team is not in it and it's the same stuff over and over again. But are you really that bored in life that you have to make these bets? Like I'm not a bettor. I don't get it. Like can't you just watch the commercials, have some beer and pizza, and call it a day?
No, because people are addicted to that thrill. Like they have to have something on the line to
What
watch.
thrill is there? Oh my gosh! I bet $2. I might lose it.
Oh, but
$2
that's
is wasted.
people don't bet $2. People will throw $5,000 on the Super Bowl. I mean,
I ain't
they'll
lying.
do a
Some
5-leg parlay for $5,000, hoping to win, $8 million or whatever.
And they're blaming why, and they're always complaining on why they're broke.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if I wanted to bet, I would literally probably go to the bathroom, throw my money into the toilet, light it on fire, and then flush it because that's how much luck I would have.
That's
I'm
what
not a
people
bettor,
do
man.
in reality too with betting.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
Except
just
you don't.
here,
it
let
goes
me
to
take it. Let me
somebody,
take it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it, man.
not
It's
a
not
big
because
fan.
it's whatever. If you want to bet. It's fine. Do whatever you want to do. If you enjoy it, great. I just, I can't imagine getting to the point where you're like mortgaging your future for it, though. I mean,
Right.
taking money out of the kid's
Oh,
college
really?
fund because I'm sure Mahomes is going to throw 3 touchdown passes. Like I'm sure of it. Come on,
Uh-huh.
like just watch the game.
Just watch the game and have fun.
Watch the game. You know what I mean? Whatever. Let's get into the actual game because I think we talked about the prop bets enough. And Max, you were
I'll
talking
make
about
a
it last
Super Bowl
week. The
bet.
color of the Gatorade for the winning team, right? Remember?
I've guessed it 3 correct years.
See, that's pretty awesome. So now you're going to put would you put like $5 on that or no?
I mean, I would. I
Yeah,
think
I mean,
if the
well,
Chiefs.
yeah.
I think the Chiefs are going to go purple again because they won last year and they had purple, so they'll do that again.
Okay.
And then the Chiefs, the 49ers, will either have blue, red, or yellow. I have to.
Okay. Can we work out a situation
debating
where you
those.
guess the Gatorade color, and if you're wrong, you get a tattoo? Can we do that?
Speaking-
Can we recreate
speaking
that?
of-
Sure, I'll get a Gatorade tattoo. Why not?
Speaking of sports betting and gambling, like ever since it came legal in Ohio last year,
Yeah.
in general with gambling and in sports betting, Ohio became the 3rd highest state in the U.S. with bets being made, whether that's sports or blackjack or something like that.
See,
So-
yeah, that's
So a
crazy.
lot of people are enjoying
My cousin.
the gambling and sports betting world.
It gives you an insight to how much we really have going
I
on. here.
cut. I
That
went
was
to,
from I'm from Cleveland Instagram page.
I went to
Found that
visit my family in Indiana, and my cousin. We're watching the Ohio State game, and he's on DraftKings, and like they're showing game updates, and he's just like, as soon as the game update came on, he's putting money on that game on DraftKings. So it's just small bets, and
Yeah.
then the Ohio State one came on, and they got the ball, and he said Ohio State's going to score here. He bet like the amount of times where he said something about a bet. I go like he mentioned it 50 times in one day.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, we
was
were at
a
a family
Saturday
thing.
because of college
We were at a
football.
family thing, and guys kept betting like every 5 seconds, like, oh, the money line updated, but put a bet, put $3, the money line updated. Oh, there's
Right.
money line
It's-
updated. And I'm like looking at their
Oh, yeah.
wives, and I'm like, thank God I don't have to go home to any of those houses tonight.
Like the money
On the
line,
faces, man. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like,
the money line for the Super Bowl, the Chiefs are the 49ers are favored at negative 130, and the Chiefs are plus 110.
okay,
Those are the 49ers are favored.
The spread, the 49ers are -2,
it's still 2
Chiefs
points.
plus 2.
Okay, yeah.
and then the over/under is 47.5 points.
Okay, let's get into the actual game. We haven't talked about the game. We talked about a bunch of the stuff around it, all the peripherals. You talked about Reba McEntire, doing the national anthem. Obviously, the game is being played in Las Vegas. Did you guys? I want to talk about this though. The financial impact of the Super Bowl to host a Super Bowl. Okay, I don't know that's ever going to happen for Cleveland, but could you imagine
No.
like how much money? I don't know if it's because it's Las Vegas, and I don't know the year by year numbers. I know obviously, as years go on, things, inflation happens, things get more expensive or whatever. But Las Vegas is looking to bring in $500 million in estimated revenue because of this, along with an estimated $70 million in local and state tax revenue. So, I mean, Over $500 million for one night is amazing. I know it's not one. If you ask them, it's
a
not
week.
5 years of planning. But
Well, imagine like for like a 30-second commercial. Imagine how much that costs to like make and like produce and put out.
How much would
the game?
How much would bartenders be getting paid? I bet they
Oh,
they get
man, I
paid.
would-
by the way, the cost for a 30-second commercial was like $15,000 to $30,000 in that range somewhere.
It's a lot.
Yeah, the
Now
Super
it's
Bowl, like a
millions,
minute
right?
commercial
Like,
for like $500,000.
Yeah, now it's
That's a
in the
lot.
millions.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
depending.
But what is it? You also have to think, how much are they losing because of the Super Bowl?
Okay, listen, guys, I've got the Taylor Swift prop bets if you want me to read some of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There's the Deja Vu. That's a Taylor Swift song. That's for the Chiefs to win exactly by 11 points, like they did, 4 years ago. There's the anti-hero, and because Taylor Swift's a Chiefs fan, that's if Brock Purdy goes for 250 plus passing yards and throws more 2+ passing touchdowns, so 2 or more passing touchdowns. Let's see, a couple other good ones. I Knew You Were Trouble. That's Christian McCaffrey going for 150 plus rushing yards.
I know that one is.
Receiving yards, I think, so combined. The Karma was Kelsey with 0 receptions and the 49ers win. So that would be Karma.
Oh, please. I would love that. I would love that.
And then
so much.
Taylor dumps him after the game. That would be hilarious if Taylor
The
dumps
last
him.
thing I want to talk about, it's called Today Was a Fairy Tale. That's if Travis Kelsey scores a touchdown and the Chiefs.
No, I honestly thought when she won her Grammys this past Sunday, she was going to say "Go Chiefs" in her acceptance speech.
Yeah, she didn't though. She did not.
She'll be on the stage if the Chiefs win. She'll be on the big stage.
If the Chiefs win, does Travis Kelsey propose to her? Does that happen on this?
I'm
Yeah,
thinking about that. I'm thinking.
I think he will.
They've been dating for like 2 months, 3 months.
He's from
But
Cleveland.
that's like 5 years in celebrity terms, man. Like, you know what I mean?
They move real fast.
I've been thinking about that
Right?
since
Like she's not doing
Sunday,
she's not doing a
y'all.
background check. Like, who is Travis Kelsey? Like,
Y'all, I feel like you're a Swiftie and you're just dreaming, Natalie. There's
I'm
no
a
way.
I've been thinking about that
The only
since
Swifties
they
I use
like
is the Swiffer
since the
sweeper on
playoffs started. I'm like,
on the
if the
kitchen
Chiefs
floor,
make it,
baby. And if I
There's-
can shake
You
something
gotta
no
have a
way.
deal. How does this
There's
not?
no way.
How is it not a
or something's gonna happen between them. It's either
They'll go on vacation somewhere.
they'll go
after
to
the
Cancun.
season.
They'll play in the Cancun.
No, don't go to
Super Bowl.
Cancun. You can't go to Cancun now. Cancun's too dangerous. Don't go to Cancun, man. Don't
But
go to the
will
Bahamas
she
either,
say
apparently.
yes? The question.
You got to go to Cabo. Go to Cabo now.
I mean, hey, Taylor Swift.
They have enough
This
money to
is-
go to another planet, Max. They can go to another planet if they want to.
Right. On Friday, this is her last Eras Tour show until I think this upcoming summer because she has a couple more dates that she added.
Yeah. By
Like,
the
this
way,
is
have
the
you guys
last.
seen how she starts off that show?
No.
Oh my god, dude, the spectacle! Like she has a mind for this stuff, right? Like she has a
But
future.
she's a
in that.
superstar.
She's amazing.
She's a
I mean,
billionaire.
dude, I watched like the beginning of her concert. I was hyped. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like I'm hyped. I don't
Well,
like.
I'll be honest,
I was hyped, dude. It was.
I'll be honest. Taylor Swift is one of the biggest names in music history, and after her last show coming up here soon, she deserves a break because she's worked
She
hard.
does.
She's worked
She
hard.
deserves whatever. She's an absolute boss. But I do
That's
want
why
to.
Trav is looking forward to Valentine's Day.
Hey, listen, guys. I do want to get back to the game though. I keep getting off track, and it's my fault. Let me ask you guys. Let's just go around real quick. Who has the advantage in this game? The 49ers defense or the Chiefs offense? When you look at that matchup.
I think the 49ers defense because we saw it last week. Even though they won the game, the Chiefs did not score in the second half against the Ravens, and the Ravens defense is pretty good. It's almost as good as the 49ers defense, in my opinion, at least, not statistically. But like you're in the Super Bowl for a reason. You have good defenses and offenses. So I think the 49ers defense is more scary.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I mean, you got Chase Young and Nick Bosa going at it. They're pretty good on every level. They don't have like a outstanding defensive backfield, but I don't think they need to with how quick they get to the quarterback.
Sure.
What are the chances? Does Mahomes? I mean, is he? I don't know. Is he mobile enough to really negate that rush? I mean, so the Chiefs run a lot of plays. They get the ball out quickly, right? But they're having receiver troubles. Like if they don't have a guy they can count on, what do they do here?
I mean, last year in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes had a bad ankle. He hurt his ankle in the divisional last year.
Yep.
So like we knew last year coming in that it was going to be a factor in his run.
Yeah.
And he ran for a big run in the Super Bowl last year. But this year, completely healthy ankle. What happens now? Does he run more than he did last year?
Maybe. And that might change.
When
You
you
have to
have-
run
when you
all
have-
night. I
When
mean,
you
I
have
don't know.
Bosa and Yun as the edge rushers, I definitely think he's going to be running a lot.
He's
They're gonna be letting-
Yeah, they're gonna provide some pressure. They're gonna get to him.
Because last year
Right.
he ran, I think, that big run and a couple small runs outside of the pocket just to get a couple yards.
Yeah,
But now does he go for big 15-yard runs?
yeah, maybe.
I mean,
You remember his
honestly-
face last year coming up off of some of those runs too? Like the look on his face, man, he was in pain.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
Mahomes is going to be Mahomes, and he's going to do what's given to him. Like, if there's a hole up the middle, then obviously he's going to run. If there's no receivers open, then obviously he's going to run. He's going to do what the defense shows.
Is this the first? If the 49ers win, is this the first Mr. Irrelevant to ever win the Super Bowl?
I believe so. As a starter, I believe so. Yeah,
That's insane. Because I remember Mr. Irrelevant, everyone makes a big deal out of it, and then
especially as a
there's
quarterback. Yeah,
But Mr. Irrelevant, they're nowhere to be seen after 1 year.
Yeah.
They're like a big thing in the NFL draft, but then comes around, they're not a thing anymore. Comes playing time.
Well, Brock Purdy's
changed that narrative.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And I think it's funny that people now are excited because of Tom Brady. People are excited about 6th-round quarterbacks, right? And now because of Brock Purdy, are people going to be excited about Mr. the last guy in the draft? He's got a chance to be Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? Because every time.
Well, is anyone going
They're
to
not going to call it Mr. Relevant anymore. They're going to call it Mr. Brock Purdy.
I mean, seriously,
They should call it that.
Yeah,
They should call it Mr. Purdy.
Mr. Purdy, he sure are Purdy. Anyway,
All right.
all right, let's move on. Let's move on to something better. Okay, so let's go the other way. 49ers offense and Chiefs defense. Who has the advantage there?
I think the Chiefs defense has it there.
Okay.
Because I think they're going to – because McCaffrey – when that 49ers offensive line gets going, they get going. But
Yeah, it's Purdy. When they get going, it sure is Purdy.
All right, Chad. No, but I think the Chiefs defense, I think they can lock down those wide receivers and those tight ends because they have a pretty good secondary. And plus, if the 49ers passing medium and deep passing game's not going well, are they going to resort to the screen passes?
They can.
Are they going to
With the
resort to
speed
that
they
to
have.
win them the football game? Because I think that's not going to win the Super Bowl.
But if that's all you can do, if that's all you can do, can you continuously get downfield? Because they're just going to stop rushing the quarterback. They're going to stay back and just stay with
Are they going to go to the screen passes and are they going to rely on Christian McCaffrey a little too much?
Yeah, I mean they get
Because I remember-
one-dimensional sometimes when that happens, and then with the I think with the Chiefs defense, you can get swarmed on. I mean, if you become one-dimensional in the Super Bowl, you're in trouble. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing.
I remember the last time the 49ers back in the 2020 Super Bowl when it was George Kittle. George Kittle was the big name coming into that because he was running everybody over. I remember Kyle Shanahan told him, dude, get tackled. He was telling him, run into people, make them tackle you. And he did that. I haven't seen that same George Kittle since.
Well, I think George Kittle has had a better year this year than in 2022 and even 2021. And I disagree with Max. I think the 49ers offense is going to – I like 49ers offense and defense, and I think they're going to overpower Kansas City's offense and defense, personally myself. I just feel like 49ers have more weapons on offense,
Yeah.
you know?
And
And
It's so hard to bet against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, though. It's so hard.
That's what
that's the thing. You can't really bet against Patrick Mahomes considering his history.
Yeah.
But besides Rice and Pacheco, who else do you have? You have Kelsey, too.
Hardman.
Yeah.
I don't think-
it's a legit
I
concern
was
here.
thinking
You're
this
right.
year.
It's legit. Yeah.
Think of this here. Matt Nagy is the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. And when he was on the Chicago Bears, they did nothing.
He brought some of that stink with him for the first 11 weeks, didn't he? They were.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden something happened and the offense started clicking. But Matt Nagy was on the Bears and he got fired as a head coach.
I
gets
think
fired
Andy
as
Reid
an
was
OC.
hey, listen, son, we're going to go to the Super Bowl, and I don't want to fire you. Sit down. I'll take the offense over. You go
It's
stand on the
insane
sideline.
how he went from being fired as a head coach, not having good records at all, to then making the Super Bowl with the quarterback that he should have had in his years in Chicago.
Yeah.
If you think of it, going back to that draft, what would Chicago look like if they had drafted him?
Still terrible because they
Doesn't
never
matter now.
addressed the offensive line.
Yeah.
They've never addressed the offensive line. I mean, in the last 500 years that they've been in a franchise, they haven't. You know what I mean?
Right.
They've got to do that. They're talking about trading Justin Fields and drafting another quarterback to put him behind what? I mean, whatever. I don't
Because
know. I don't
Caleb
know.
Williams can't stay there forever. He
No,
can't
he
sit there and wait for the play to develop forever.
No, we cannot.
Like the
No,
Bears,
that's-
I think whenever they pick next, they got to pick O lineman.
Yeah. What are they, like 2-5 or something?
Because they got Joe Alt. Joe Alt would be a great pick
Yeah, would.
from Notre Dame. Notre Dame produced some great old linemen.
But watch him go wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Right. Or running back. Just
Oh my
absolutely running back. Or a tight end. I mean, they got Cole Kmet, but or they go defense. Like it's just they're gonna pick a quarterback. We know that.
Yeah.
But like the second pick they have, like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, they could stack up on that defense. Remember the trade? I don't know. They could try to get a pass rush going, and
The defense wasn't
cover some
bad.
of the holes offensively. I don't know.
The defense for them wasn't bad. It's just their offense was like
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like one more piece on that defense, and they could have like a top 5 or 6 defense. And all of a sudden now the holes on the offense don't look so bad. I don't know.
right.
I don't know. But who cares? Who cares about the Bears? It doesn't matter. They're not playing this weekend.
Top Bears.
The Niners are. Bears. Yeah, the Bears fans too. Super fans.
Oh,
So let me ask you guys this. Run real quick question too. If the Chiefs win this, how do I want to ask? A, are they in the middle of a dynasty? And
Yes.
B, does Patrick Mahomes kind of enter the conversation as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
No,
Yes,
I think
both
that's
ways.
answered yes to both things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think if he wins the Super Bowl and then wins a few more, he definitely could be in conversation for one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I mean, he's got to catch up to Montana first.
And
Well,
Tom
definitely
Brady.
wins a few more. Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
he's not going to catch up to Tom Brady. But let's
No,
be
but
honest.
like you gotta think of it here. Patrick Mahomes was a first round pick. Tom Brady was a 6th round pick. Like you go from like 6th round and you win 7 Super Bowls, 6 with one team, 1 with another team. You win multiple AFC titles and you win an
Wait.
NFC title.
Max, do you have that was good math? Did they get you a calculator? 6.1 and 7. Good job.
Thank you, Chad.
No, but I
Yeah,
definitely think he
man.
gets. I definitely think he gets in the conversation for one of the greatest of all time. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Warriors dynasty. You know, winning
Right.
2 and then
Winning
eventually
one, losing
win
two.
a third one.
Mahomes kind of reminds me of Steph Curry too. Like he's like that dynamic guy that finds a way, right? Like Steph Curry,
Yeah.
that is that
And-
player.
And I do think he could possibly do that on Sunday.
Okay. Well, let me leave you with this, and then we'll get our picks and predictions real quick because it's almost time to get out of here, unbelievably. But I want to. There are 4 quarterbacks in NFL history that have 2 MVP awards and 2 Super Bowl wins. It's Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, and Patrick Mahomes.
That makes sense.
So
Right.
there he is. So all that said, okay, guys, who wins this game and what's the final score? Natalie, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going with the Chiefs. I've been saying that for 3 weeks, and I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
saying it.
Proud of him.
Can't ever count Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes out. So
Tough.
I would say the score would be just about 3. I would say 24-21.
Max, what do you think, buddy?
I've also been sticking with the Chiefs because I predicted them to beat the Ravens, but it'll be Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, when they get started in the playoffs, it's hard to stop. And the only teams who've been able to stop them is Tom Brady and the Bengals in 22. Those are the only teams who've been able to stop them. We knew how good those teams were.
Yeah.
Even though the Bengals didn't win it that year, they were a good football team. So I have
They had a
the
lot
Chiefs.
of talent in that defensive backfield for the Bengals that year that people forget
Yeah,
about.
they had
were all
Eli
gone this
Apple.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Chiefs, 40, and then 49ers 31.
Okay. Wow.
Jesus.
That's high scoring. Okay. They're going to play some arena ball. Okay. Jared, what do you got, man?
I want the 49ers to win, but I think the Chiefs are going to win. I
Yeah.
think they'll win 31-28.
Okay. I want to pick the Chiefs here. I really do. I keep saying there's no going against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but I just keep thinking about how Brock Purdy looked awfully purdy in that NFC Championship game. I mean, making plays with the arm, he was running around. I mean, I don't know, man. He looked really athletic and really, really dynamic. And Shanahan scares me as an offensive play caller. Like you've got him, he's the head coach, he's calling the plays. They don't have an offensive coordinator. I think if you give him time to look at that Kansas City defense, I think Shanahan might have something for Kansas City. I think this is going to be a close one, man. Like, guys, look, what if we saw overtime in this game? Like, I think it could happen.
When's the last time a Super Bowl has gone into overtime?
I don't know. I don't know if it's ever even.
The last
I
time
don't
was
know that.
Patriots Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Obviously. Yeah. Okay.
When the Falcons blew the biggest lead in Super Bowl history,
How'd I block that out?
and it still haunts them to this day.
Well, that's
Oh,
probably
well.
early onset dementia. But yeah, okay, that's my bad. But I think I'm going to pick the 49ers in this game. I've been rolling with the Chiefs all like forever, but I'm just starting to feel like the Niners are going to, like, I'm feeling like a 33-24 type of game. Like they're just going to pull ahead and win by a couple scores. It's going to be close, but like 33-24, 34-27, something like that. So, there you go.
Sir, I like it.
Not bad.
All right. Well, guys, I think it's been a great show. I had fun today talking about the Super Bowl. For Natalie, for Max, for Max's hair, for the person who has to get in there with the hedge trimmers and get that all knocked down. Like,
Hey, thanks, Chad. Chad.
listen, it's the same thing that happened with me last week, man. I looked exactly the same. I looked ridiculous. I had hair everywhere. And for Jared, I don't want to forget about Jared down there, Kylo Ren in the corner. Listen, I'm Chad. I'm your host. This has been Come On Ref. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the Super Bowl and enjoy your food. Enjoy the commercials. Thanks a lot.